This is one of those weird purchases that I make. Not because I need this. I mean, you don't really need any of this. You need one guitar and one amp. Kinda. But not because I need this, but because I just have to know. I just need to know. So, if you go back into the 80s, into the big racks, which I know you want to go back into the big racks, you will see this piece of gear in so many of the racks. It's almost Furman power strip. Let's see, what else will they put in there? A DBX compressor. And this. Prepare to be blown away. No, it's not a BBE Sonic Maximizer. It is a Rocktron Hush, to be exact, a 2CX. Now, I've never, ever heard one of these before. I don't know if it's a noise gate or if it's some weird, like, fancy sauce. As you get into around, like, 1990 racks, big racks, as like big racks peaked and then they were just tailing off, these started disappearing, and sometimes you would just see a noise gate, maybe like a compressor noise gate, and they just use a combination of the two. Or maybe now what everyone seems to do is just use a gate pedal, which works great. I remember being at the Mesa Boogie store in LA and talking about my noise problem, and guy told me, well, get like a noise gate. I was like, well, what do you do when you're playing? He's like, you can't hear the noise when you're playing. You're right. You can't hear the noise when you're playing usually. So let's plug this in and see what it does. I have a feeling it ruins your tone, and that's why people stopped using it, but we'll see. All right, let's go over here. I've done everything I can to eradicate noise from my guitar recordings. In fact, this is the only guitar I have that has any sort of regular single coil pickups in it. And I tried putting in noiseless pickups here, and they just kind of fell lifeless in comparison. The stock pickups and the Friedman S sound really great. So, but they are single coils, which makes it tough to use sometimes because of this. And if you're playing over something really delicate, nothing spoils the mood like some buzz, buzz, buzz. So, how do we get rid of that? How did the 80s guys get rid of it with this Rocktron Hush? Look at this. We're plugged into the Soldano Series 2, going into the DBX 160 compressor, which is in bypass because it just makes it more noisy, and then into the Rocktron Hush 2CX. So it's really simple to use. There's basically one setting, and that's on the threshold knob. All the way to the left, it's doing the least amount possible. You hear it? Turn it up. Oh, look at that. You could still hear the noise poking through. This other knob is like a high-end EQ roll-off because noise lives at the top end, right? So it's going to trim the top, which is just not good in our case. So useless for us, right? Now let's say I wanted to add a compressor. Compressor lifts up the noise too. It pulls everything together and gives you more of it. We're at maximum Hush 2CX right now, and it can't contain it. So let's take a quick look at a noise gate. it's pedal noise gate. I'm using the TC Sentry. Turn on the noise gate. Already that's way more helpful. You still hear the hum buzz coming through, but it's a much more effective. This is the Hush. Here's the noise gate pedal. Now I'm not sure, because there's a little too much of a lag time. I don't know, but 100% these two things don't sound the same. And I hate to say it, but every noise gate has a sound. Some will say, I'm totally transparent. They're not transparent. Everything has a sound. So, you know, you got to take your pick. And if you're super noisy, you just put them both on. And then what happens? Let's go all the gain. You'd never know it by turning that up. Oh, it's getting choked out. It's totally choked out. Just the Hush. Just the Hush. That's cool. It doesn't choke off your notes, so that's kind of nice, but it also doesn't do that tight gate thing. The Hush is essentially a rack-mounted noise gate, so I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.